I'm leaving now.
Lucy, my sweet.
I cleaned out the tiger cage and sorted all the meal bins. So, if it's all right, it's my turn to fix dinner.
Haven't you forgotten something, little one? Just one little thing.
Mr. Runcer, please.
It's been a very long day.
I don't want to.
Now, Lucy, I thought we'd settled this last week. Don't let's forget who pays your salary. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. Wait! I haven't finished with you. I told you, we're closed.
We're not here to buy, little man. We've come to sell.
You can't possibly have anything to interest me. These are extremely rare animals of the highest quality.
What a coincidence. So am I. That is the price for humility.
Oh, please, don't.
And what else might we interest you in today, sir? Perhaps some virtue?
Not my animals, please. I'm begging you.
But what of honor, little man? At what price? Honor.
Oh my God, no! That tiger is the rarest specimen ever seen.
Tiger, tiger, burning bright. The forest of the night.
BR 61661, report to precinct headquarters, code 3. Repeat, code 3.
I was just finishing up my 12 out on patrol when I got the call. Welcome relief, considering that the most action I'd seen all night was a schizoid grandmother doing the shimmy in her underwear in the 2nd sector.
BR 61661, report to division headquarters, code 3. Repeat, code 3.
Last time I had a 3 was when some hooker vomited Thunderbird on Bryant's desk, and yours truly led the cleanup crew. Year and a half on the job, it was still the dirtiest work I'd seen. Where's Captain Bryant?
Took a sick day. Got himself a heinous case of ptomaine poisoning. He asked me personally to run the unit in his absence.
Gouza was one of the old-time guys who took their knocks in the streets. He had a friendly way about him, but you didn't want to turn your back on him if you were less than a friend.
Hope you've been enjoying your leisure time, kid, because it's time to take that thumb out of your ass.
Hallelujah.
Don't get too excited. The other Blade Runners are all jammed up. Holden's sucking dinner through a straw. Gaff's working the Tyrell break-in and Steele's working special undercover. Looks like you got this one by default.
You really know how to make a girl feel wanted.
Animal murder done at Runciter Zoological. Probably just be a schizoid glitz, but we got the call. Old man Runciter lost something like 1 billion chinions worth.
10 to 1, this ain't a job for Rep Detect.
You got something better to do? Perfect your French cooking, maybe?
Slumming tonight, Slim?
I thought you were on special assignment.
Wasn't too damn special after I had the suckers out.
What happened?
Couple of fours were masquerading as fibroplast insulators down at Kaiser. I dressed up like a nurse, they never had a chance.
I'll bet. You put them on the machine?
Hell no! There's a beautiful little thing in here called the magic, and it ain't ever been wrong. You develop it, you got a brilliant career ahead of you.
I'm working on it.
What's Gooza got you doing tonight?
AM at Runciter's.
Animal murder. Oh, those skin jobs got no respect for anything that truly lives and breathes. And that goddamn Eldon Tyrell ought to be zipped into a body bag and flushed into deep space.
Get rid of him, we'd be out of a job.
I think we're all overdue for a little off-world paid vacation. You can stop staring at my ass now.
You got eyes in the back of your head?
All you gotta do is ask, Slim.
Animal sales was a profitable and prestigious business since most real animals had died out after the Terran War. There were plenty of electric ones, though, powered by rechargeable batteries. No self-respecting human would own one of those frauds. What do you know?
About 30 counts of animal murder and 1 of aggravated assault. The shop's been thrashed. You ought to see this tiger cub they got in there. It's a goddamn tragedy.
How's old man Runciter holding up?
State of shock. He's been moaning and complaining about his world caving in.
You'd feel the same way if they were your animals. How many perps?
At least 2. Bloody footprints all over the scene.
Must be a delightful sight. Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Unless the city had bought a jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat traffic ticket coming. Interesting.
I already checked for a crowbar, some kind of tool. No luck, but it looks like we've got some latents.
Make sure the lab boys run them through the mainframe, human and rep. Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair. McCoy, LPD.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was 2 men acting in concert with her, obviously.
Obviously. What'd they look like?
Big and scary and absolutely malevolent.
Can you think of anything they might have been after?
First, I thought they wanted money, but I don't keep any in the shop. Then I thought they wanted to steal my animals, but they started executing them.
Could they have been replicants?
Who else would be capable of such barbaric acts? My precious one. She was my baby.
You ever do any business with the replicant manufacturers, Tyrell Corporation?
I resent that accusation.
Just wondering.
Officer, last May I personally sold Governor Colvig an exquisite Bergeron coat. I have been a guest at his house on 3 separate occasions. Do I look like I need to carry artificial product?
Tell me about this Lucy.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for about a month. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
How'd you find her?
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone. And he's a very reputable wholesaler.
You treat her well?
As well as any young tot should be treated.
She got a desk? Or someplace where she worked?
She used to eat over there. My precious one. She was my baby.
See if you can dig up that reference from Ogilvy's.
Yes, it's somewhere here. Just a moment. Here you are. My precious one. She was my baby. She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone, and he's a very reputable wholesaler.
Scratches and paint flecks, and I knew what they meant. Unless the city had bought a jet black fire truck, somebody had a big fat traffic ticket coming.
I'm ruined, totally ruined.
Well, isn't that cute? A candy bar. Yuck. Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself. A toy dog.
My precious one. She was my baby.
Stick around. I may not be finished with you. Stick around. I may not be finished with you.
My precious one.
It didn't add up. Animal murders, the lack of any theft, the small animals alone were worth a good chunk of change on the street. It seemed more like an act of vengeance. Find anything else out here?
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week.
Canvass the area. Maybe somebody had his eyes open.
I'm on it.
Mấy giờ tôi phải tới đó đó?
بعدين معاه هذا الزلمه هذا شلون بتطلع بعدين معاه هذا
Tôi rất mong anh Lan làm nhanh đi.
Real sushi was a luxury reserved only for the elite, since most sea life had become radioactive after the Third Terran War. The rest of us had to eat new sushi, soya mixed with off-world lichen. McCoy, LPD. I want to ask you a couple of questions.
Sorry, my man. I just don't got the time.
You're a pretty smart-looking cat. You want to make some money?
Pay me large, you got my rapt attention.
Depends on how much the information's worth.
Unfortunately, my man, I got a book.
Got to mix more out back.
Dynamite dining, old man. Catch you later.
Excuse me, pal. Beautiful night, isn't it?
When business thriving, night always beautiful.
This from your place, isn't it?
Could be. Chopstick come from Yoshi's restaurant supply.
How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin? Just month. Superior chef. Makes all kinds of new suits.
What's real fresh tonight?
Special shipment of Toro just arrived. I fix you right up. No one else. Clean as a whistle.
You're Prince, Howie. See you later, Howie.
Laboratory. Roof. Laboratory.
Got anything new for me, Dino?
I was wondering when you'd show your mug around here, McCoy. We got the animal corpses from Runcitors, but there wasn't a whole lot to work with.
Bone marrow?
About 50% were real, the rest were fakes.
So, Runciter was ripping his customers off.
State-of-the-art fakes. Miles beyond the crap you see on Animoid Row.
The kind that comes from legit manufacturers?
They're the ones that usually produce the quality.
What about the wounds?
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something.
Butcher knife?
Could be, but who cuts meat anymore?
Nice bunch of reps I'm tailing. Hope you're not pulling a meat cleaver out of my back next week. Anything else?
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car.
You sure?
The angle of impact was almost head-on. And there ain't too many spinner drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
I heard your wife got her license back.
You're a real funny guy, McCoy.
Anything else?
Zip, man. Try me later.
Mainframe and shooting range. Ground floor. Lockup.
Are they letting me out?
I'm not the one who makes that decision.
I suppose it's my turn to bear the cross for the cause.
Who are you, anyway?
Please leave me alone. My migraine's acting up.
Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figures from the Department of Justice. Governor Kolvig attributed the change to the dramatic increase in the number of specials registered as city residents and promised a tough new set of standards for the City Immigration Bureau by next month.
Old copies of case files, notices, and memos. The usual station junk.
Well, if it ain't Ray McCoy! Bryant finally letting you play with the big boys.
My clearance come through?
You bet. You bring your piece?
Don't leave home without it.
Steele's been running the maze every other day for 2 weeks, and the targets are getting a little roughed up.
I thought Gouza was going to requisition some new ones.
I ain't seen him down here in a month. Guess he's been busy.
Poor guy. I bet he gets all tuckered out from pushing those papers around.
And don't sell him short, McCoy. Gouza could be one tough hombre. I remember when we worked mice together. He poured acetone on 2 pimps that gave us some lip and lit a match. I'll tell you, it looked like the goddamn 4th of July out there.
Peachy. Hit the lock, Jack.
I guess there ain't no harm in it.
Target and shoot all threats. Do not shoot innocents. Confirm target as hostile before shooting. Completed sequence. Proceed to next station. Completed sequence. Proceed to next station. Completed sequence. Proceed to next station. Completed all sequences. Proceed to exit.
Lockup. Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range. Laboratory. Ground floor.
What do you know?
Zero that would interest you, Detective.
Bryant go on permanent leave and you get full use of the office, Lieutenant?
You know the procedure. Dump it all in the mainframe upstairs and I'll read it later.
You got it.
Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete. Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
Howie Lee's in Chinatown. I'd eaten there myself. Howie Lee's in Chinatown.
She came to me with a reference from Ogilvy's in the Northwest Zone.
About 30 counts of animal murder and 1 of aggravated assault.
I'm absolutely certain Lucy Devlin was involved in this heinous act. She's the young girl who works for me.
She's responsible for all this mayhem?
No, of course not. It was 2 men acting in concert with her, obviously.
This woman says she saw that kid who worked for Runciter hanging around with a big fat guy last week. I already checked for a crowbar, some kind of tool. No luck, but it looks like we've got some latents.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
Most of them were shot point blank, but we're looking at some others. Sloppy cuts with a knife, like the perp was really pissed off at something. That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car. The angle of impact was almost head-on, and there ain't too many spinning drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VTOL mode.
Judging from the distance between the prints, I was looking for 2 very big men. One dragged his right foot, indicating a possible injury or lameness. The other appeared a lot more controlled, graceful even. Quite a pair.
There's not a lot I can tell you. She's only worked for me for about a month. She's about 14 years old with pink hair. A very attractive young thing.
This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354. Still working the explosion at the Tyrell manufacturing plant. It'll take a day or so to analyze the debris, but there's no doubt in my mind that we're dealing with a bomber here. Right now, it looks like the protesters had nothing to do with it. They were in too close proximity to have been in on the deal. No MOs or identities are rolling up just yet, and I'm still going through the inset files to see if any replicant munitions experts are unaccounted for. This is Crystal Steel, badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Gregorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery, November 22nd, 2019.
I once again asked that my attorney...
Shut it, shitbird. I'm asking the questions. We've already put you on the machine, so we know you're not a skin job.
That term offends me.
Okay, so you're not one of those biomechanical scumbags. And you claim to not know anything about the bombing at Tyrell.
This is true. We advocate equal rights under the law for replicants. We have nothing against Tyrell Corporation for creating them.
That's some sick logic.
The replicants are living organisms, whether people like you like it or not. Replicants contribute greatly to the economic well-being of our culture. They cannot be discounted as such.
Hell, it'd be no skin off my nose if each and every one of them was hosed down for good. You ever see this guy?
Why, yes. Actually, I have. He was present at the protest. He's not part of our group, but outsiders are usually welcome.
How many new faces showed up that day?
Not too many. A handful at most.
Describe them to me.
I don't know if I can.
Oh no? Recording off. Describe them for me again.
There was that Rastafarian fellow, and one of our ex-members showed up.
Who's that?
A Japanese man named Izo.
Why'd you get rid of him?
We're a pacifist organization, and we have rules. One of them is no weapons allowed. Izo refused to check in a samurai sword at the door during meetings.
Where can I find this Izo?
He owns one of those little secondhand stores downtown.
Let me ask you a question. Who the hell bankrolls your operation?
Well, we have a number of anonymous donors, people with resources and sources.
Such as?
So anonymous, even I don't know who they are.
I almost believe you. This is Crystal Steel badge number BR61354, conducting the interrogation of Spencer Gregorian, leader of CARS, Citizens Against Replicant Slavery.
That black paint you found on the fire hydrant? It's from a ground car. The angle of impact was almost head-on, and there ain't too many spinner drivers klutzy enough to smack a street-level hydrant in VT.
How long has that chef worked for you?
Zubin? Just month. Superior chef makes all kinds of new sushi.
Ground floor.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Sorry to bother you, Lieutenant. I was just checking in.
We'll get back out there. Those reps ain't retiring themselves.
Yeah, suicidal targets would make my job a lot easier.
Everybody's got a job, kid.
Roof.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner.
Maggie, come here, girl. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. No messages. I'm in demand.
Portrait of the sleep-deprived.